interpreting cross markers as Yamashita treasure signs. In this video, let's interpret the meaning of a cross sign or marker, left behind by the Japanese Imperial Army soldiers, as clues to their hidden Yamashita treasure deposits. This is actually a requested topic, which is often repeatedly asked by many. I assume that you already know what a cross symbol looks like. Anyway, shown on this illustration is the cross symbol. So as a treasure hunter, what is the first thing that you have to do when you happen to discover a cross sign or marker? Well, the first thing that you have to do is to confirm that what you found is indeed a cross symbol, and not an X sign or plus symbol. The X and plus symbols do have different meanings from the cross sign or marker. In order to make sure that the sign you found is a cross, you may need to measure the lengths of the two intersecting lines. If both of these lines are equal, then what you found is either an X or plus symbol. On the other hand, if one of the lines is longer than the other, then that is definitely a confirmed cross sign or marker. So what's next after confirming the marker? We can now start with the interpretation with its meaning. However, a cross sign does have a general interpretation. It actually has several different meanings, but we can reduce it down to its specific meaning by analyzing the location of your site. What you have to do is to search these following locations around your site, if they are present or not. 1. Old church. 2. Old caves or tunnels. 3. Old creeks or water sources. 4. Old cemetery or graveyard. You have to know that the cross sign is a type of sign that gives hints to the location of the hidden treasure deposit. Just like the arrow sign, it points you towards the direction of the item's location. However, the location is often far from its place or not nearby. Now, in relation to those places which I have previously mentioned, if the cross sign is pointing into one of these places, then we can confirm that the deposit is hidden on that particular location. Wait, how do you exactly know which direction is the cross sign pointing at? This is how you do it, which is best explained through this illustration. The longer line of the cross acts as the main pointer, which is pointing towards the location of the main hidden treasure deposit. As for the shorter lines, they do point to the location of small treasure deposits, or simply giveaways. There could be 1 or 2 giveaways. But for small deposits, there could be just 1, or even none at all. As for medium deposits, it is likely to have 1 small separate treasure deposit, or giveaway. For large treasure deposits, the 3 locations are likely to have small separate treasure deposits. Thus, if there aren't any clues that tell you the volume of the hidden treasure deposit, then it is best to only pay attention to the direction of the longer line of the cross. Now, this is the question that only you can answer, which depends on your site. Is this long line pointer of the cross sign pointing to an old church, tunnel, cave, creek, cemetery, or graveyard? Let's say, for example, that several feet away from the cross sign, towards the direction indicated by its long line, there is an old church. This confirms that the main treasure deposit is hidden in that location. With regards to the distance, a simple cross sign with no additional symbols on it does not provide any number of distance. Anyway, there is no need to know about the distance, if you already know the exact location of the old church. Deposit from the old church is often found right at the middle portion of the old structure. As for the tunnel and caves, the items are often hidden inside sealed chambers. On old creeks, the item can be hidden under the water, or on one side of the old creek, particularly at its intersection. When it comes to the cemetery or graveyard, the item can be stored inside or underneath one of the most suspicious graves. What if the longest line of the cross sign is pointing directly onto the surface of the ground? Let's have an illustration here as an example. Let's say that you discovered a cross sign that is engraved on the surface of a big rock, and its longest line is pointing in a slight downward direction. What you have to do is still follow the exact direction of the longest line, where you can use a long string of wire. Now, the spot where the other end landed on the surface of the ground is your digging spot. Some are saying that going after the main deposit is quite really hard, which I agree, especially for the group of amateur all-funded treasure hunters. Thus, it is the best option for them to go after the small deposit, or giveaways, which is a lot easier to recover. Then, they can later use it to fund their operation in recovering the main deposit. So how are you going to find the small deposits or giveaways of the cross sign? Let's go back to the illustration of the cross sign symbol. These three shorter lines of the cross sign are pointing into the directions of possible small treasure deposits, or giveaways. So how do you know the exact location of these separate treasure deposits or giveaways? Sadly, a simple or plain cross sign does not give any clue about specific distances. So what you have to do is to explore the entire area, indicated by its three directions. Try looking for old huge rocks, old trees, or any possible objects as markers. In most cases, there will be additional signs or markers on the deposit spot, where you need to dig. Before we end this video, let's have a short summary about the meaning of a cross sign or marker. As shown on this illustration, the three shorter lines are directions to possible locations of the separate treasure deposits, or giveaways. As for the longer line, it provides the direction to the location of the main treasure deposit. In part 2 of this video, we are going to cover cross signs or markers with additional symbols on them, that pertain to distances of the exact location of the hidden item. Did you enjoy watching my video? If yes, and if you are new to my channel, then you may want to subscribe, like this video, and hit the small notification bell icon. By subscribing and hitting the bell icon, you will receive alerts or notifications about my new published videos. If you want a reading material about treasure hunting, then you may want to visit my blogging website at treasurehunt.club. Thank you very much for watching, and happy treasure hunting.